Is this thing on?
Guys, what's up? I've been working on my novel, and I don't know. I got so used to, like, in the edit, I would like edit the chapter and then I would read it, you know. And I was reading it. I was like, oh my god, I was just having a problem on this one line over and over again. And normally, what happens is if I can't read the line well, I'll like reword the line so I could write it, so I could read it better. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I had this subscription to 11 Labs. So I took it into 11 Labs and I went to town on the first chapter. It's not completely done, but I want you to hear how freaking amazing this first chapter is. It's fantastic. What's really cool is I don't think like the voices aren't exactly what I want, but I'm getting used to it. Like I had a voice for the main character, who's George. We go like I don't know what to do, and I think I got to do it. Like had that kind of a voice. And then there's another main character named Square, and Square's like, well, George, I don't think you understand. These are how I would read it, right? And then Kim was like, you know, his girlfriend, but she had a waiter. But that was me doing a girl voice, so it's significantly more cool to do it. You know, with independent voices. So I'm gonna play what I have so far. I don't know how long it is, a few minutes, but here, check it out. It might pause a little bit because it's not like completely rendered. Here we go.
George was certain fate didn't care about a person's dreams, nor how hard they'd worked toward achieving them. And sometimes fate reminds you who's in charge with a swift career-ending blow to your kneecap. George clicked Pay Now, and half of what he earned as a trainer for the month transferred out of his bank account. The loan repayment app, ironically called Fate Management, blared a trumpet sound, and confetti showered the screen. A cheery voice spoke.
It's time to celebrate. You've reached a milestone.
George muttered under his breath.
Celebrate being a slave to the bank?
A grim reaper holding a scythe appeared on the screen and spoke in an evil voice.
You did it. You killed your debt.
A tombstone etched with $362,000 poked up through the grass. The bony arms of the grim reaper raised in the air, slashing the scythe diagonally through the tombstone. Blood filled the entire screen, then rolled off with the new amount of $179,000 and today's date below it. George drew in a deep breath and immediately exhaled while saying,
Another 3 years to go.
George tossed his phone onto the battered leather sofa in his rundown one-bedroom apartment. Sunlight bouncing off the faded pink wall of the building next door illuminated a single plant atop a scuffed-up bookshelf filled with secondhand books. George didn't mind having the worst view in the Flamingo luxury apartment complex if it meant cheaper rent. He guessed when Flamingo was first built, luxury was appropriate as part of the name. Young families and bachelors with dreams of ever-increasing property values rushed to buy units, but with the deterioration of the neighborhood and decades of poor management, calling the Flamingo apartments luxury felt like pure puffery. George dumped the remainder of the soy milk Kim had brought over on their date night into a bowl of sweet-smelling, cheap supermarket brand cereal. This would be his only meal until after his final client's training session ended at 7 p.m. George's sole focus had been paying off the nearly $400,000 of medical debt after a smashed knee ended his once promising MMA career. If this were any other type of debt, he might have chosen bankruptcy and a fresh start. But the Medical Responsibility Act of 2032 took away that option. In pursuance of his goal, George's training schedule for the last 2 years had been packed with sessions every day of the week ending in Y. It wasn't until Kim had made it clear she was sick of rushing to meet George in between training sessions for what she called a standby date that George had begun taking Thursdays off. George had calculated he could cut down on his volunteer work at the shelter, or maybe do an extra session on the other days to make up for the lost income. The Thursdays, set aside just for Kim, ended up being therapeutic. George soon stopped caring about the lost income. It gave him time to forget the rich, entitled elites who insisted on a human trainer as a status symbol, despite the existence of capable, if not better than human AI trainers. Most Thursdays ended with George nestled next to Kim on his sofa, watching true crime shows on a vintage Blu-ray player. George shoved another spoonful of cereal in his mouth and flipped to the dog-eared page of his latest thrift shop find, the 1951 print edition of Classic Crimes, written by William Ruffhead.
We're not going to continue. Okay. Let's continue. Oh, unless I lost internet. Nope. Looks like I still have it. Weird. Why did it stop playing?
His reading was interrupted with a chime from his phone laying on the couch. It was the SD Trainers app alerting him of a new request. Swiping to the message, George sighed.
Not again. What's wrong with this guy?
George had already declined his previous 3 requests. Everything about this guy screamed pain in the ass, from his over-the-top profile and a 3.5-star rating. And on top of that, he was insisting on a Thursday 11 a.m. session, despite George having marked every Thursday as unavailable.
I sure as hell don't want to train on my Kim day.
George was ready to decline yet again, if not for the message attached to the request. The first
Hang on, I gotta fix this. From his over-the-top profile to his 3.5-star rating. And I need to modify that in the book. No, wrong. That's way further up. Okay, let's do that again. Now we have to wait for it to click to recalculate that.
George had already declined his previous 3 requests. Everything about this guy screamed pain in the ass, from his over-the-top profile to his 3.5-star rating. And on top of that, he was insisting on a Thursday 11 a.m. session, despite George having marked every Thursday as unavailable.
I sure as hell don't want to train on my Kim day.
George was ready to decline yet again, if not for the message attached to the request. The first sentence was in all caps. Message from Prospect.
Read before you decline. I require a trainer of your quality for a year-long unique project. I will pay 3 times your normal hourly rate for a guaranteed minimum 3-hour weekly session. Cash will be paid discreetly at the end of every session.
3 times my rate? Why?
George reread the message to make sure he understood it. It seemed too good to be true. George was tempted to accept, but he had questions.
Who is this guy? Why spend so much? What's so special about me? And why pay discreetly?
No sane person would walk away from this offer. George calculated that by completing this job, if it were real, and maintaining his current schedule, he could eliminate the constant reminder of his failed MMA career, and finally proposed to Kim. She wouldn't be happy about going back to standby dates, but certainly she would understand.
I guess the 4th time's the charm.
He clicked the Accept Client button and the training request was added to his calendar. Now for the hard part. He tapped Kim's name in the Messages app and began typing.
Hey, I won't be able to make our Thursday lunch this week.
Oh, anything I should know about?
No. I accepted a new client who insists on Thursday for his first session.
We discussed this. I thought Thursdays were for us.
They are. But this guy was persistent, and he offered triple my normal rate.
Triple? As in 600 an hour?
George didn't talk much about his past, especially his financial issues, so Kim wasn't aware of George's large medical debt. However, at one time she had been one of his paying clients, so she was aware of his previous rate of $200 per hour.
Actually, I raised my rate to $250 last month, so $750.
Wow. Who is this guy? And does he need a young, beautiful, go-getter PR agent?
I'm not sure who he is besides his name, I'm meeting him at the Letter building on the 100th floor, so I assume he's an executive at Letter.
Are you kidding me? Letter? I strongly recommend you reconsider this guy.
Reconsider? You think I should charge more than $7.50 an hour?
No, not that. Give me a second to look for something.
The only thing George read were his true crime books, training requests, and messages from Kim. Consequently, news of the world came to him primarily via conversations with Kim, whose work required her to be hyper-aware. George knew Letter had built a skyscraper in the center of the city, but didn't know much beyond that. Shin Hae Kim, a second-generation Korean, went by her last name Kim primarily because non-Koreans always messed up her first name. Her work as an independent public relations manager meant she constantly scoured social media, news articles, and watched expose videos for a significant part of her day. After a few moments, Kim sent 2 links.
Check these out. There's more, but this should give you an idea of why Letter is so dangerous.
The first link was to an article from the Texas Daily Telegram titled, "Letter Under Fire for Animal Testing Deaths at Dallas Facility." An anonymous whistleblower, working for Letter at their now shuttered research facility in Dallas, claimed upwards of 100 chimpanzees had died under mysterious circumstances, and that the company had covered up their deaths using an on-site incinerator. Letter, of course, denied the claims, and a subsequent investigation by the Dallas Special Investigations Unit ended with no charges due to a lack of evidence. Kim's face always lit up when talking about a good conspiracy theory. It often led to stimulating debates where George enjoyed playing devil's advocate to her theories.
That's as far as, like, I've been cutting, pasting, rewriting, figuring out what voices I want to use, figuring out the settings. Dude, this is fantastic. I can't even tell you how amazing this is. Actually, I think you could tell. The fact that that woman's voice sounds like an actual person read it. Dr. Merlot, you made a cobalt ingot? Isn't cobalt dangerous? Be careful, buddy. It was so cool. You have to heat the metal and beat it with a hammer. It was quite the unique experience. Where did you do that? I'm doing good. I remember this story. This is the one that takes place in San Diego. It is. I used to be a Singaporean, San Diegan, Angelian, Malaysian. Funny. Yeah, anyway, this is what I've been doing. So fun. And yesterday, I think it was yesterday, yeah, there's a part of the book that I had to rewrite because of AI. AI got advanced all of a sudden, and then I had a story written before the AI came out talking about AI, so I had to adjust a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to probably adjust this line as well. It doesn't sound, I need to smooth back into the Kim's face always lit up. But yeah, this is super fun. That's really all I wanted to show you. I don't even know how many people are watching because I don't know my my login password here. Hang on, let's see here. Google. It's in here somewhere. George at Yes Japón. There it is. I'm gonna copy this password and log in over here. Oh, there's 8 of you guys here. Cool. Anyway, super cool that I can do this. I'm pretty excited. And so far, I kind of really like how the voices are sounding. I'm getting used to it. George sounds a little bit too hyper now. Maybe because before he was like, blah, blah, blah. But also I thought, yeah, he sounds a little bit too old too. So this part here, Kim's face always lit up with, I'm gonna change it to lights up. I'm talking about a good conspiracy. Yeah, I don't know what else to write. Maybe that's not too bad. Because the whole thing is that George's personality is to not believe in conspiracies. Actually, I think I might take it from George's perspective. Actually, I think if I open up with something like George always enjoyed playing devil's advocate to Kim's conspiracy theories. She was so animated. It led to stimulating debates. George always enjoyed how Kim's face lit up when she talked about her conspiracy theories. And his doubting nature made him the perfect devil's advocate. And led to stimulating debate. Yeah, that works. A little bit more flowing in. And then we'll remove this. And then it makes sense. Could this be a simple shakedown? Which is not his voice anymore. Pop this in there. And then we'll make sure that it's Anthony's the voice I'm using for this. What's my favorite Nakamori Akina song? It's probably Nampasen.
George always enjoyed how Kim's face lit up when she talked about her conspiracy theories. His doubting nature made him the perfect devil's advocate and led to stimulating debate.
Dude, that works perfect. Yeah, it goes Takakakoi namte nakare was it? Ebai. Let me look at the lyrics here. Nampasen. I can't play it for you, obviously. Nampasen no kashi. Okay. Taka ga koi nante wasurerebai ii. Nakitai dake naitara. Me no mae ni chigau ai ga miete kuru kamoshirenai to. It's super sad. The lyrics are super sad. そんな強がりをいてみせるのはあなたを忘れるため Sorry, I'm out of tune because I'm not listening to the actual song. 寂しすぎて壊れそうなの私は愛のナンパ線折れた翼広げたままあなたの上に落ちて行きたい海の底へ沈んだなら泣きたいだけ抱いてほしい And then when she sings this in concert, I watched like so much concert footage. She cries. It's so awesome. Oh, I'm in the wrong screen. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Hang on. Dang it. This one. No. This one. Sorry. Yeah, these are the lyrics. Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, she's amazing. But I also like the older stuff. 涙は飾りじゃないよ。半分だけの大人の What is that? How is that? What is it? Nakamori Akina. This one. Not YouTube. I can't watch YouTube, guys. Kasa, here we go. So she has such a deep voice. 秘密だと念押されあなたにうなずけば 来るな私に戻るいつも And then it was 半分だけよ大人の真似大人の残り What is that? Something Kizuna Mama? Oh, Junsui na Mama. Wait, I can check. Junsui, yeah. それでもまだ私悪く言うの Yeah, such a good song. Sorry, I'm definitely not nailing the tone. Like I can sing it in karaoke because I got the music in my ears and I'm like I'd be much more on pitch, I promise. I miss the shock. That was, I think, the first song I bought of hers. I miss the shock. And God, that was a sexy era for her, for real. Oh man, Nakamori Akina. She became my favorite after the fact, because forever it was Asaka Yui, but there's the depth of a Nakamori Akina. Like the depth of her soul makes me truly think she's the best idol for that era. Yeah. It's good stuff. I think George sounds good. Do you still feel the sound of your own voice is weird? Maybe YouTubers like yourself is used to. No, I'm not used. My voice is totally normal to me. You know, it's weird. After hearing my voice so much, there's no difference between what I hear in my head versus what I hear outside. Like it's the same voice. Now, to show you the difference in sound, you can hear my voice in it's a different version of a slightly different version of the book. Where is it? Gotta go to episode 1. Yeah, this is it. Let's play a little bit of the beginning. Life Squared, a novel written by and read by George Trombley. Chapter 1, George. George clicked pay now, and half of what he earned for the month disappeared. As he put the phone down, trumpets roared and confetti showered the screen. A cheery voice spoke. It's time to celebrate. You've reached a milestone. George muttered under his breath. Celebrate being a slave to the bank? A Grim Reaper holding a scythe appeared on the screen and spoke in an evil voice. You did it. You killed your debt. Now remember that and listen to this version. I added this deep line in the beginning, though, to set the tone.
George was certain fate didn't care about a person's dreams, nor how hard they'd worked toward achieving them. And sometimes fate reminds you who's in charge with a swift career-ending blow to your kneecap. George clicked pay now, and half of what he earned as a trainer for the month transferred out of his bank account. The loan repayment app, ironically called Fate Management, blared a trumpet sound, and confetti showered the screen. A cheery voice spoke.
It's time to celebrate. You've reached a milestone.
George muttered under his breath.
Celebrate being a slave to the bank?
I kind of like that voice. Now, it's funny, like I had kind of forgotten the lack of detail in that version. And what's funny is the version that I have on Tissue Box channel was a rewritten version already where I thought, wow, I added so much detail. But like you can hear, like I've added the elements of fate now twice because George believes in fate. That's his character trait / flaw, right? He believes in fate because he's been just dealt such a huge blow in his life, right? But now we know that. Why is it ironically called fate management? Like that's a thing that you put that goes into your brain. Like ironically, okay, why is it ironic? Because you can manage fate. How do you manage fate? You know. But yeah, this is I'm very happy with this. See, did we play this one?
George always enjoyed how Kim's face lit up when she talked about her conspiracy theories. His doubting nature made him the perfect devil's advocate and led to stimulating debate.
That shouldn't be her conspiracy theories. Talked about a new conspiracy theory. That's even better. I don't want to make it like she's inventing them. It could be her. It could not be her. I just want to make sure that I don't label her. Like, you don't want to think she's crazy because she's a pretty good person in this story, you know? Important person in the story.
George always enjoyed how Kim's face lit up when she talked about a new conspiracy theory. His doubting nature made him the perfect devil's advocate and led to stimulating debate.
Yeah, and then so each paragraph I can set a voice, right? So here we have a George thought. So this goes to Clyde. It's crazy. I'm burning through my credit on this thing. And this goes back to Anthony. So let's see. Could this now there's ways I think that you can slow things down and whatnot, but I haven't figured that out yet. Could this be a simple shakedown? I think that's how he sounds now. Could this be a simple
Could this be a simple shakedown?
Could this be a simple shakedown?
Could this be a simple shakedown?
Could this be a simple shakedown? It's not bad. Not quick way, should be an easy way.
To George, it felt like a quick way for a disgruntled employee to make a buck, either from paid interviews or maybe blackmailing later. But on the other hand, what would a tech company need an on-site incinerator for?
What would a tech company need an on-site incinerator? I need to, so I think I can go, if I say on-site incinerator, and how do you spell incinerator? Shoot. Incinerator. If you capitalize it, seems like I can get a, I can get like it to enunciate it. Actually, let me put this back to here. And then we'll go like this. Yeah. But every time I make a change, it resends it back, and then I get my quota on the right side over on the top. It goes down. It's so sad.
To George, it felt like an easy way for a disgruntled employee to make a buck either from paid interviews or maybe blackmailing leader.
Oh, shoot.
But on the other hand, what would a tech company need an on-site incinerator for?
Oh, that's so much better. Yeah, it needs to be letter. But on the other hand, what would a tech, and I think I'll put tech company to give it a little bit more incredulous feel. It's really fun. This is so fun. I could do this all day. I can't wait to get the full chapter, and I'll export it out and I'll listen to it in my headphones as I walk around the block. I love audiobooks.
To George, it felt like an easy way for a disgruntled employee to make a buck, either from paid interviews or maybe blackmailing letter. But on the other hand, what would a tech company need an on-site incinerator for?
What does? I feel like it's a weird block here. To George, it felt like an easy way for disgruntled to make a to. I was going to say extort, but we already got blackmail. It felt like an easy way for disgruntled to make a buck. Let's try it again. I don't know. Sometimes it changes it up. Also, too, a lot of times when I write, I listen to this stuff here.
To George, it felt like an easy way for a disgruntled employee to make a buck either from paid interviews or maybe blackmailing letter. But on the other hand, what does a tech company need an on-site incinerator for?
Oh, it sounds so good. The piano. Oh man, this is my favorite. This piano playlist I've made. Wait, did we make this, Clyde? Could this be a simple shakedown?
Could this be a simple shakedown?
To George, it felt like an easy way for a disgruntled employee to make a buck either from paid interviews or maybe blackmailing Letter. But on the other hand, what does a tech company need an on-site incinerator for? The second link was to a video titled, "The Many Evils of the Letter Company."
Nice, perfect. This one I want to add music to the back of it because it's a video. It was a well-made video released a few days ago with dramatic music and fancy motion graphics. The channel was known for its viral videos exposing the wrongdoings of I feel like it's weak. Exposing the. I feel like the song's also just a little bit too loud. The wrongdoings, exposing the inner workings. No. Exposing the wrongdoings of large companies just seems like super shitty. Known for its viral videos exposing the channel was known for its viral videos exposing wrongdoings and secret. It's got to be a way to make this sound nice. It was a well-made video released a few days ago with dramatic music and fancy motion graphics. The channel was known for its viral videos exposing the wrongdoings. Large companies. Government agencies. Large doesn't seem like the right term there. Wrongdoings of government agencies. Government agencies. I'll sit here sometimes for a minute thinking about this. The channel was known for its wrongdoings of government agencies and once considered untouchable companies. Ugh. And government agencies and multinational companies. Mid-range to multinational conglomerates. Let's see how that sounds. Oops. Malfeasance. Malfeasance.
It was a well-made video released a few days ago with dramatic music and fancy motion graphics. The channel was known for its viral videos exposing the wrongdoings of government agencies and mid-range to multinational conglomerates.
Nah, it sounds shitty. Doesn't flow right. Wrongdoings of government. I'm not gonna use malfeasance either because it's not a natural word for me. Channel. I think if I do this, simply called The Exposers, was known simply called, I don't know if I like the word the channel. Was a group I mean, I guess if I think about it, it's probably like what's that guy that went to Venezuela and whatnot? There was like a company that there's an actual thing that does this. The channel was created by a world spanning by a group called by a self-titled by a clandestine organization. The channel was created the Exposers channel was known for its viral videos exposing the wrongdoings and injustices. Supposed secret dealings of government agencies and large companies, public and private. There. That has a official sound. I already got that second link part. This is right here. Actually, hang on. Yeah, I see a problem. I don't have like a subject sentence playing first here. It was a well-made video released a few days ago on the on the popular Exposing the Truth channel. That's even better. Channel. There. That sets up what this paragraph's about. It had dramatic music and it opened with dramatic music and it dramatic music and fancy motion graphics. Actually, wait, known. It was a woman released a few days ago on the public, known for its viral videos exposing wrongdoings and secrets used in large companies, public and private. And I think I can move this to the next sentence. The video opened with dramatic music and fancy motion graphics showing a map displaying hundreds of factories, research buildings, and office buildings owned by Letter throughout the world. According to the video, comma, the CEO of Letter was merely a figurehead and actually had no power of the company. I don't like the word actually. Was merely a figurehead. That's so shitty writing. Was merely a figurehead with no executive power. Okay. Okay, let's try that. The thing is, it has to read well, you know? It has to read well. All right, we'll turn off the continue button. Anyway, guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for coming. Bye, guys. I didn't mean to take your time up.